couple things that are going to be crucial to performing this exercise without having a risk of low back injury. Now, the first and foremost thing that I think is super important with this is the core brace, or the 360 abdominal breath, maintaining intra-abdominal pressure while you're doing this exercise. Your intra-abdominal pressure, your core brace that you have, is a natural protective mechanism over injuries to your back and over you using your back a little bit more than your legs or your glutes or your actual core strength. So what I would recommend is starting with PVC pipe or something like that instead of moving to a bar first when you first start to do this exercise. When you're comfortable, you can perform this with cables or a T-bar connection to the deadlift on a Smith machine or something like that to keep you in more of a connected state. So it's more of a controlled state. There's a word I'm looking for. So the next thing about the deadlift is we want to make sure, like we said before, that we hinge at the hips, okay? We also want to make sure that we're maintaining the tightness in our lats and our posterior chain. So I like to say feel the lats, or sometimes people say set the shoulders, tension the shoulders. Now that does not mean drawing the shoulders down and back into where you put yourself into extension, okay? We want to maintain that nice neutral spine as we possibly can during the exercise. Now, the third thing is going to be you are going to push and pull at the same time. So what that means is I'm going to take the PVC pipe here. I'm going to get into my shoulder width stance, okay? I like to breathe in when I go down, and I'm going to push through the floor with my glutes and my legs and my heels, that tripod of your heel and the ball of your foot. So I'm going to push and pull at the same time. So you tension the lats. I like to set my shoulders, good connection, good brace when I get ready to come up, tension in the glutes, heels grounded, and I'm going to push and pull as I stand back up. And when I push the weight up, when I pull the weight up, what I'm doing is breathing out, creating that intra-abdominal pressure. If you need help on that, I've got a video about the 360 abdominal breath and bracing and how to do that on this channel, okay? So we're going to put the PVC pipe down to the side, and we're going to move on to the actual barbell. Now, I've got a ladies bar in the rehab room here. You can grab a regular bar or whatever works for you. If you're more comfortable, dumbbells are a good way to start with this exercise. I like a shoulder width stance, and then I'm going to have my hands at a shoulder or hip width stance, and then shoulder width stance for my hands. So just a little bit on the outside of the heels, okay? One of the things that is hard for me in this exercise is dropping my hips down enough. So I'm actually going to show you a clip where I did this and had my hips a little bit higher. And that was what a powerlifting coach that I had a long time ago. Obviously, I don't powerlift now, but that was one thing that a coach told me, was that I needed to drop my hips down into that full deadlift stance because my hips tend to be in more of a straight leg deadlift stance. So instead of here, we're going to drop the hips down when we get ready to lift. I'm just going to give you a couple cues as we do this exercise. All right. Approach the bar, hands in my position, and I've got a ladies bar here in the rehab room. I'm going to drop my hips in. I'm going to get ready. Tension, tripod, push, pull. Okay. My head is going to remain neutral with the horizon as well as I do this exercise. Now my back may look just a little bit rounded because of my curvature. Another important tip that I learned from a power lifter himself is to make every rep feel the same. So I don't know if you noticed the difference. I'll have to go back and check the tape, but the last rep I felt just a little bit different and started to kind of feel it in my back. So the form may have been breaking down slightly, okay? You will know this. Pay attention to your body. Pay attention to the things that are happening during the lift. And of course, we're using a barbell without plates on it, so we're going further down to the ground than we would typically do in this exercise. But pay attention to those things. Let me know if you have any questions. And if you are somebody that is struggling with things like this and you still can't exactly get it right, or you still have pain, then shoot me a message so that we can chat and see how we can help you.